midway through the Portland course, and for the time being HMS Newcastle lies safe in harbour. But that safety is an illusion. Her crew know only too well there are no days off in the middle of the Thursday War. Newcastle is partway through the Navy's toughest test of operational efficiency, known throughout the service as the Thursday War. And even though she's tied up to the jetty at Portland Naval Base, the situation is growing tenser by the minute. Bikini Red is a high state of alertness, all part of Exercise Awkward, where Newcastle is supposed to be on a courtesy visit to a friendly country in the throes of a deep political crisis. Different groups want to make capital out of this visit by a British warship. So the team from FOST, Flag Officer Sea Training, is starting off the action with a group who are staging a student demonstration. But this is just the first move. The ship has to be ready for anything that may follow it.
I must ask you to disperse peacefully. This area is now locked. This is an illegal gathering. You are trespassing on private property.
Already things are hotting up nicely, though as yet there's no real threat to the ship. Portland riots used to be more spectacular than this fairly light-hearted confrontation. The acting was more realistic, and the demonstrators took it much more seriously. But the list of injuries from sticks and stones and fists mean that they're now played in a much lower key, though things can still move surprisingly quickly.
Okay, sir, get your grenade men up here now.
The crowd have had a thorough soaking, but still they seem ready for more. So the next step under the Navy's rules of engagement is to bring in tear gas grenades. As it's an exercise, the tear gas remains imaginary, but it seems to have done the trick, so one up to the ship's internal security platoon. The only casualty is one of their own men, and he's part of the exercise too. But while they're treating him, FOST are already making their next move.
Go!
Fast boat dive, boss. Go. Roger, go.
Sentry, fast boat approaching port quarter, fast boat approaching the port quarter. Brace! Attack from port quarter. Upper deck sentries, open fire. Upper deck sentries, open fire.
You need more medical assistance up there? Roger.
The first wave comes in an attack by a fast gunboat like those used all too effectively by Iran's Revolutionary Guards, but it's followed by a series of other attacks. A team of snipers backed up by mortars firing from the shore, and the threat feels surprisingly real, for the moment at least.
Here there, stand to, carry out blanket search. Carry out blanket search. The ship remains under mortar attack from four sides. Sword here.
Even though the realism is made as good as it can be, there's still a huge element of fiction in it. And I'm happy that the boys would actually perform well in reality, but albeit in that exercise, there's a huge dose of, well, there's no one there, is there?
Now there are casualties who have to be treated in whatever shelter they can find. The injuries look surprisingly realistic for a mixture of makeup and tomato ketchup. From Frost's point of view, now's the time to try to put Newcastle in check. 2 frogmen have been planting mines on the ship's hull. Now they've been captured and brought on board. But one of them has a grudge against the other, and it's a surprise for Newcastle's crew.
I want to get to a phone like this bastard's having his life. We'll kill him. Well, that's it. He's coming. Hold on. I'll kill him. Okay. Leave him. Kill him. He's got my bloody wife hostage, isn't he? I'll make a phone. Come on. I want him. Well, your kids, he's fine there. All right.
Morning, Roger. We have the situation under control. Right, Jerry. Come here. Be straight. Go in. Take it easy. Right, now keep them pinned down. Right.
Right, won't do you any harm whatsoever. Okay? It's coming down. That's all. Right. Turn round. I ask you to hold your hands out in front of you. Now I should try you.
Mine, because it's been a bit stormy. We can't go through here. Just make it Where's the door? There's 2. You've only got 2. Keep coming up. Keep coming up. Keep fine, right? Coming up. Right, keep going. You're all right.
Get these initial reports out, fellas. Come on, it's going to move on.
Now it's time for the ship's diving team to go down and find those hidden mines. This is always hard because diving is inherently dangerous. So for those who have to do the job, there's no problem at all in seeing it as a real threat.
Remember safety. Remember your signals. Driver 1 sits to the side of the ship. Driver 2 enter the water.
The difficulty is that the enemy frogmen will have used every trick they can to hide the mines they've placed under the ship. So the divers can't afford to miss even one.
2 leave surface. 3 slip to the side of the ship. 4 in the water.
Now get the ball in motion, get my family sorted, all right? Otherwise this thing can rot.
Absolutely.
Okay, now move it.
No, you got to...
No, that's it, zilch.
Hang on, you said you had 1 more. You said you placed 1 more midships. Whereabouts is that?
It's in the middle, like, as you look at the ship.
Yep.
Yeah, like that way.
Now at least they know what the fighting was about. One of the frogmen had been forced to take part by his family being held hostage. Once he knows they're going to be rescued, he's likely to be much more cooperative. So the officer doing the questioning has changed into civilian clothes to try to keep the atmosphere relaxed.
Are they on the phone?
Yeah, the phone's off, like, because as soon as they took over, we tried to get the phone.
The phone?
They've got the phone, yeah.
Right. The first item was about midships. Yeah. We mark it, then we continue the search. Yeah. See if there are more objects on the ship. Yeah. Towards the rear of the ship by the air bracket, there was a second particle we found. Yeah. Connected to the air bracket, and that looked suspicious also. Yeah. And that was also marked. There was also a third item further around the bracket, which we didn't get time to mark. We were called to the surface.
We do have a demolition team. They have special equipment, which they give to us. We place on the hull of the ship at a certain position, so it sort of blows the mine off the ship, hopefully. It actually fires a jet of water through the metal casing of the mine, and hopefully it wipes out everything that's inside it. Firing now!
Right. Tell the offshoot end of exercise.
Now things are quiet, there's time to sum up.